Greenside chipping. I've been doing a ton of short game lessons, and the common theme is the same. I'm having a really hard time chipping when I get into the heavy rough around the green. And the biggest problem that I see, number one, kind of like common theme in how people are approaching these shots, is balls too far back in the stance, way too much shaft lean, and they have a grip that is too strong. And then they're creating this like steep hacking motion where they're really digging the club into the dirt, or they're swinging it around their body, almost with a putting stroke and making this like heavy arcing swing. You can get away with that in normal conditions. You can get away with that in fairway conditions. I still don't think it's the best way to do it, but I'm a big believer of there's 1,000 ways to get the golf ball in the hole, so do whatever you're most successful with. Now with that being said, when we start to get into these greenside conditions where we've got thick, heavy rough, you need an element of steepness in your swing. And steepness cannot also come with too much shaft lean, because you're gonna take this 54-degree wedge that I have and you're gonna turn this into a 6-iron. And that ball's gonna come screaming out of there, and there's no way it's gonna hold the green. So even though we're attempting to go with something that is more of a steep angle of attack, we also have to have an element of release to get rid of some of this shaft lean as the golf club approaches the ball. This will let the loft start to deliver the ball more up in the air instead of out. It's gonna soften this shot so you can make a bigger, maybe even sometimes a faster swing without really feeling like this golf ball is gonna go shooting across the green, okay? I've just got an alignment stick stuck in the ground. This is a great way to practice it. I have one here just so you can see it out of fairway conditions, and then I'm also gonna step back and hit a couple of these out of the rough. This angle is severe. This is way more than anything you're gonna wanna see on the golf course. Most short game experts would tell you you can get about a 10 to a 12-degree angle of attack, so how steep the club is approaching the golf ball. The simplest way I have people think about angle of attack. Airplane landing, we need this airplane to land and hit the tarmac, but we don't want it so steep that the airplane crash lands. And then airplane taking off. This would be more of what you'd want to see with your driver, the swinging up or hitting up on it feel. We need that golf club rising as it's coming into the golf ball, so airplane taking off, okay? So in this idea of airplane landing, downward angle of attack, this is borderline crash landing, right? But I just want to test this and see if something this severe will work for you as a way to maybe help encourage an angle of attack that's a little more up and down. The other benefit of this, I think people need to have a backswing and a downswing for short game shots that is more in line with the target line, instead of something where the club comes in and then arcs back to the ball. It's too difficult to control your low point when you do that, okay? So, super simple. Alignment stick in the ground at about a 20-degree angle, directly behind your golf ball that you're trying to hit towards your target. And I would say you can probably get maybe 8 to 10 inches of space from the golf ball to where that alignment stick is in the turf. We're gonna try this greenside fairway just so you can see it. And then we're gonna do this out of the rough as well, just so you can see how easily this golf ball starts to pop up and out of here, okay? Boy, that is steep. Let's see what happens. Yeah, 54-degree wedge. I've got about 6 yards of carry here to get to the green. That thing popped up nicely and landed right on the edge of the green, and it only rolled out about 2 or 3 yards. So that is plenty of elevation and plenty of stopping power for these greenside shots. It's not an excessively long swing. It's definitely not a hard or a fast swing, but I think you'll be surprised as you increase your angle of attack how you can get something that lands soft on the green. And as you'll notice, no divot here. So even though I'm swinging pretty severely down and into the golf ball, I'm still not taking a ton of turf as I do this. So if we now step this back into the rough, do the exact same thing, and I would argue, we might even go a little aggressive here. This is not US Open style, but this thing's sitting down pretty good. I'm gonna have to find a way to get down to this golf ball. So as this club ends up kind of sitting down to the turf, and I go through this exact same technique. So we're looking at a lot of up in the air, trying to get this club working up and then down. I've even got this maybe a little closer to the alignment stick that we're testing here, just to see how much we can push the limit of this. Now that one came out a little softer. I probably needed a little more juice on it. Even though I still didn't hit that perfectly, it carried about 5 yards in the air, and then it rolls out about 4 yards. So I'm 10, 12 feet from the flag on that. Not a great shot, but It is significantly better than getting it caught in this rough and just dribbling it out of the rough, or more specifically, what we're trying to avoid is hitting it well and it's scooting all the way across the green, and you're still gonna have to chip again because it rolled too far, okay? If you're struggling with being able to soften up your greenside chips to be able to get them to hold the green, steeper is better. And more specifically, steeper with some release of this golf club so that it doesn't come in with a ton of shaft lean. We can get this club releasing into the golf ball to create more elevation. Ball's gonna fly further and it's gonna land softer. Give this a shot. Super simple, but a great way to work on your greenside chips. Take care.